what was the impact on the economy, and what are the challenges in reopening the economy, and how the reopening is taking place now?
Valerian, again, I'm sure you have to give me some more time,
Yes,
a
yes,
little bit
please,
more
please.
time to explain,
Let
because this
our
is an way.
viewers know what is
Yeah,
happening in Qatar.
because they need to know what is happening in Qatar.
Yes,
Absolutely, you're right.
yes, yes.
See, as compared to the some other markets, the business sentiment has also been less adverse in Qatar companies. This is partly due to the limited presence of external investors and Qatari real 10 billion government backstop for the stock market. The government also offered a stimulus package of Qatari real 75 billion
Yeah.
to assist the small business and other hard hit sectors. If you look at, like as with the other major oil and gas exporting countries, Qatar will also certainly witness a significant reduction in the demand for its hydrocarbons. The OPEC is already expecting a demand for its crude to drop by nearly 30 to its lowest in 30 years. According to the KPMG report for the Qatar, they're saying the manufacture and trade are being strongly affected by the lockdown, with a significant reduction of activities and a major cash flow constraints. According to the community data collected by the Google on Qatar, the movement of people dropped by nearly 63% around retail, and the recreation areas nearly 35% for grocery and pharmacy. Construction in the private sector construction project has been greatly affected by the coronavirus. Government projects, of course, mostly related to the World Cup, stadium completion, Ashgal Road projects are ongoing, but the pace seems to be affected. So you have asked another part of the question, how the country is, opening. Like
Yeah.
they have announced a gradual reopening in 4 phases.
Okay.
At the moment, we are in phase 4. The first phase was started on June 15th, with the limited opening of the mosque and 20% employees at workplace, with the implementation of all precautionary requirements. Trips outside Qatar in cases of extreme necessity, and everyone who returns to Doha will be subjected to the hotel quarantine for 2 weeks. And the second phase, they started on July 1st, with opening of malls for limited hours, and the opening of markets and wholesale markets with limited capacity and for specific hours. And also 50% of the employees get back to their workplace with implementation of all the precautionary measurements. The third phase started in the month of August, with the low risk. They allowed low risk inbound flights for priority passengers, like especially the returning residents who are stuck abroad in Europe and Northern America and all. The full opening of the shopping centers they allowed, opening of the wholesale markets with the limited capacity, and for a specific hours. I can say 80% of the employees also got back to work in phase 3. So 50% of the capacity for a lot of other activities they allowed. And as I said, now we're in the phase 4. This was started in September. So in the phase 4, they allowed full opening of all the shopping centers, full opening of market and wholesale markets, the completion of gradual opening of restaurants. I can say nearly now almost 100% employees, they also started to go back to work. Even private health clinics, they have allowed to open almost 40%. As I said, we are in phase 4 now. They have opened many things, and life is almost back to normal with the
Yeah.
precautions in place. Further opening of the economy depends on the ground situation, and I'm sure if second wave doesn't hit us hard like many other countries, I think in the next few weeks it will be back to normal situation in Qatar.
Deepak, in future, just this is a thought sharing with all of you. How about making the classes one third physical learning, one third e-learning, and one third field learning? Deepak?
It's a good thought, Valerian. But
Yeah.
as I said, see, we all come from, we all grew up going to as Simon said, initially,
Mm,
the
mm,
physical aspect in what I still feel, the
mm.
bonding, the friendship, the
Right,
fun,
right, right,
the
right.
other activities,
Yeah.
because I have got two sons, as if, they are also missing the classes.
Right.
Right? They say going to the class is a much more fun, much more educative, Because see, it's not only going to the physical aspect, is not only about the learning, a lot of other things.
Right.
It also, that teaches them a lot of social bonding,
Right.
how to cope, other things comes into the
No, my
picture.
question was, not, my question
Yeah.
was having one third, one third, one third, one third, so that they rotate,
Okay.
this is what I'm trying to say. During this pandemic, to start the classes for everybody at once, and in future too, like if you segregate, one third this week will be on the class, one third will be on field, one third will be on e-learning, and then it rotates.
I'm with you 100%, Valerian. I think the way, not only even the education system, I think even
Right.
for all of us, the way what we are working
Exactly.
now, it's gonna change.
Right.
It's gonna
Yes.
change, because
Yes.
if you look at Apple CEO, the recent statement,
Yeah.
he said he's
Correct.
lacking this. So the way we are going to operate from henceforth, it's going to be pre-COVID and post-COVID. It's going to change.
Yeah.
It's not going to remain same
Right.
henceforth. It's going to
Yes.
change everyone's life.
Many skilled and semi-skilled people have gone back to India, to their towns and villages from overseas and also from Indian big cities. Of course, some of them are slowly returning, but not all. How these people can establish themselves in their hometowns and villages with their newly acquired skills in farming and other activities, what support they should get from people, local bodies, and state governments. The question is long, but we are talking about the people who have gone back with their new skill sets, how they can start something in their own villages.
Valerian, okay, I have got a slightly different take on this. Yes,
okay.
Agree. Lakhs of people have returned back to India from abroad.
Right. Yeah.
Economic situation in India is not that great at the moment, which is quite obvious. GDP is down by double digits. Back in India, many people have lost jobs. So the one who are residing in India, they themselves are in a difficult situation. The people who are returned from abroad, if you ask me if they have money, I believe is the right time to invest, provided they have done proper feasibility study. And if you ask me, if I estimated correctly, it cannot go further down anymore. We can only see an upward trajectory once the vaccine comes into the market. That's what I see. But for those who are not sure, it is better to have a wait and approach for some more time. And for those who are dependent on the jobs, honestly, at this moment, one should not look at what job they're going to take up. Have the opportunity and try to meet their expenses until vaccine comes to the market. Maybe if they have a land, they should really think of starting a farming. Why not? In an ideal world, government should support them, no doubt about it. But by giving loans on long-term payback options, hassle-free single window clearance for starting any MSME business startups. But as I mentioned, many state governments' financial situation is not that great. I guess depending on governments alone cannot help. Only thing I can think of getting help from government is if they can set up some centers to improve their skills, which News Karnataka is doing, which will certainly help them to get jobs or start their own business. But one thing is for sure, COVID-19 has changed many things, including the way, as I said earlier, ways to live. One needs to be innovative, patient, and courageous in their approach in handling the tough situation.
What is your call to viewers to support News Karnataka and why?
Okay, rather than looking at Valerian, the negative things, let's look at the positive things.
Right.
The ratio of number of people recovering from COVID-19 is up to 99%. So be positive. Okay, of course, we all need to practice the COVID-19 safety measures, but look at the nature. It is healing itself.
Yes. Wow.
More cleaner water and air. Earth is becoming a better place for all of us to live. Let us all introspect ourselves. Give time to yourself. Spend more time with the family. Be happy. Then I would like to say, Sanskrit, the one word last, Sarvajano Sukhino Bhavantu. And I would take your second part also. I think then you can go to probably to Aloysius. I have been seeing in a lot of videos the initiatives taken by the News Karnataka, and you guys are doing a fantastic job. And your CSR activities, the corporate social responsibility initiatives, are really fantastic. You guys are really, walking the talk. And I have seen some of the videos, like people, you are encouraging people to get back to farming. You have showcased, you have shown, some guys who did extremely well. Doing well in the farming, once they go back to their native place. These are all the small things, that will help the rural economy. And I'm sure By highlighting such activities, News Karnataka is doing a great society to the service, and a big salute to all the News Karnataka team members from my side.